Tammy and I just found out we're neighbors. We have never actually met in person, but we are neighbors and we're good friends now, thanks to the coronavirus. So new friends, new whatever. No, so I'm Teresa Young, and I've been a hairstylist by trade for 24 years. And in the last 4 years, I have learned a ton about marketing beauty businesses. I'm currently a technology company owner. I have an app called TrueConnect that's like a match.com to find your ideal beauty professional. So it's pretty fun. It has swiping capabilities, and you can literally get on there and tell us what you want as a client, and a client can tell us what you want in a beauty professional, and it kind of matches you up, kind of like a dating app. But we're currently down for remodeling, reopening this summer of 2020, and I am also, I said, a beauty business coach. I have a website, teresalyoung.com, where I help teach beauty professionals there how to create online courses to generate income beyond the chair. And right now I have a Facebook group too, where I also offer and provide free marketing resources, tips, tricks. Yeah, so that's kind of how I met Tammy. She does coaching as well. And so we got together and just started talking about our history in the beauty industry and all those fun things.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining me. And, you know, last week or the week before when we met, I just started thinking, you know, the one thing that's going on in our industry specifically that I've seen is the fear that we're all experiencing, how everyone is just in panic mode. And I really felt a call to help and to turn all that into hope. So I just started talking to salon owners and some of my beauty friends in the TG world, and just people that I've known over the years, the past 28 years doing hair all over the country, and connecting with them to help turn all this fear into hope. So, you know, when I thought you were perfect to come on to talk about the mind, because I'm doing a series on mind, body, and soul this week. So I think it matters to flourish in all three of those times right now, especially in this time, because it's hard to find balance when you are living in fear. So I wanted to talk to you about that, and how do you get that positive mindset every morning when you wake up, and how did you finally get to that point where you can do it every day? So just kind of go back to where you started and where that shift began for you, so you could start thinking in a positive mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know about you, Tammy, but being a beauty business coach, sometimes we get drained and feel like, man, I just don't want to be positive anymore. But I kind of feel like it's our calling, because we are positive people and we are solution orientated to help others find the solution in their problems. Yeah. But as coaches, guys, I do know that I'm going to be real and honest with you. Like, some days it's draining, and, you know, I go to bed and I'm like, man, I just need a shoulder to lean on myself. But I'm here to share my story with you guys in hopes that I can inspire, motivate, help out any of you guys in any way. So my story is that I did start out doing hair when I was 18 years old. I really didn't know what to do for college. I was thinking about going to college, but lived in a really small town, kind of had a boyfriend, and my sister, she's 7 years older than I am. And Natalie, if you're watching, I love you. She went to hair school as well. And she would literally cut my hair off when I was a little girl and like perm me and like, oh my gosh, all those funny things. So I instinctually, I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to go to beauty school, because I grew up in the hair salon and my sister cut my hair in all these weird ways. And like, I was pretty good with styling people's hair. So I went to beauty school, and in beauty school, I was engaged to get married. Yes. At 18 years old. From a small town, that's what we do, right? You get out of school and you get married and raise up your kids. So yeah, I was doing what was normal in a small town, and we were engaged. I like to say that, but I did get pregnant in beauty school. So I was pregnant, and I would wrap perms on the floor 24 years ago, guys, wrapping perms, and I would go in the bathroom and I would throw up, and I would come back and I would do perms and shampoo sets. And I don't know why we only did perms and shampoo sets, but that's all I remember. Dang, I wish they'd bring perms back. I loved perming. But so I had my first baby when I was 2 weeks after I graduated beauty school, and I was 2 weeks after I turned 20 years old. So 20 years old with a brand new baby. I would be working in the salon and nursing my baby in the back room, because thankfully my mom could help me and she could watch the baby. But through that and a lot of different adversity things that happened in life, I had 2 other children in my 20s. I've been divorced. I've moved many, many times trying to better my career, but I never felt like I could get really good at anything in my career. And it was the moment when I literally told myself I needed to stop telling myself the same story I told myself. And the story that I told myself my entire life basically was that I'm just a hairstylist. I can remember when I would be in a group of, and I kind of say this with my head down because I know a lot of you hairstylists are really proud of what you do as a career. I wasn't. And maybe it was because I didn't have felt like I had a choice and I just kind of went to beauty school at default and I loved it. And it was one of my passions, but I just didn't feel like I was an educated college businesswoman. I was just a hairstylist and I didn't matter. And that's what I told myself. So I can remember being
I think that's a stigma though, Teresa, a lot of hairdressers have in their mind. And it's because of, it's just like a stigma in our industry. Like, you know, you're never going to make any money. Oh, you're just a hairdresser. You know, I think probably in the last 10 years, people have really recognized that we do have value, that we do more than just hair, that we are a staple in everyone's life. They come and see us. We are intertwined with everything that they do in their life. We're not just doing great cut and colors. And that's the message that I've been giving to everyone the last couple weeks is you are more than a great cut and color. Like you have so much value and you give it to your clients every day behind the chair. It's just time for all of us to share it with each other because we all have strengths that we can help each other right now. And it may not be a technique for hair, but it could be so much more. And that's why I reached out to you, Teresa, because you teach the value of setting your mind straight and get rid of that internal dialogue, that story that we're constantly telling ourselves. So I'm glad that you said that because a lot of hairdressers carry that.
Yeah, it's funny because, like I was saying, I remember, you know, you'd be in a group of people and they would say, "What do you do for work?" And you're like, "I cut hair." Like I couldn't even come up with a great line to be like, "Well, I blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh, I cut hair, just do hair." But I did so much more than that. I mean, I always say this funny story, but I figured out how to do hair extensions when I was 19 years old because I hated my hair, and my line is that I was doing extensions on people's hair before it was even cool for white girls to wear extensions. Like there was no extension education classes. I learned from a girl in my town who did her own extensions and she taught me and then I would do hers and she would do mine. It was like literally self-taught. And one time I was in a group of people and I thought, I got to change my story. I'm not just a hairstylist, right? And so I was with like doctors and lawyers and Major League Baseball players at this charity golf tournament. And they were going around the table and saying, "What do you do for work?" And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just a hairstylist. And I said, it got to me and I said, you know what? I have the most important job at this table. And they all were like, really? And I go, yeah, because without me, all of you couldn't have the jobs that you guys have because if you didn't love your hair, you wouldn't be confident enough to walk in that courtroom or walk on that field and hit that ball in Major League Baseball. You like, I literally, you guys couldn't live without me. Like it was and I think that was a huge pivotal moment for me when I was like, I'm more than just a hairstylist, right? This world can't live without me. And, you know, so for me, like, you know, another turning point was when people started coming out with these online courses and it was like, man, I want to learn. I want to get, you know, I'm pretty much certified in every hair extension method that's out there. But it was the moment I went and watched Danielle White with Natural Beauty Grow Extensions. I know a lot of you guys have done that. I've been trained in it 7-8 years ago. She was just in a little tiny studio with a phone and she had a few videos online and I paid, I think $500 to buy her 3 videos that were online. And I watched her. Oh, and she sent me a kit in the mail. And it was, and if Danielle ever watches this, she'll laugh. But it was like a plastic kit that had like these little fishing pliers. And like, I was like, what the hell? But I got a kit in the mail for $500 and 3 videos, right? Yep. And so I flew out. I literally flew out to Laguna, California. And I trained with her one-on-one. And she had like a duffel bag full of hair. And she was pulling hair out of it. And I was like, man, here's a woman with a dream. She has an amazing story where she was losing everything. And she said, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to make videos. I'm going to sell an online course. I'm going to teach something and certify people in my method. And man, has she really changed. I mean, some of you don't care for her. They don't. I love them because I love their story.
Well, it's not about the product. It's not about the brand. It's about the fact that a person created this vision and this dream, and she did not give up. That's the whole thing, is she had her mind determined, her vision was very clear, and she kept moving forward every day, and she didn't care what people thought, right?
Yeah. No.
And that's exactly where, the message in this is to find someone that's doing what you wish you could be doing and have them share their knowledge. She did that with you. She shared her story. She didn't know what she was doing, but she kept moving forward, and you started getting educated, not just from her, but other areas, and you started investing in yourself.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because at that time there was no marketing to back it up. So my frustration was, we can go out and get certified in all these color training classes and haircutting classes, but then how do you get those people in your chair? Like, how do you find somebody who wants a Redken certified color specialist or a Goldwell certified or a TG hair artist? Like, there are consumers and clients that are looking for us, and we're looking for the ideal client, but they don't know how to find us. And there was no education really back then. I didn't feel like I could find to market myself to find my ideal clients that were searching for me. So out of my frustration of taking many classes, that's where I came up with the idea to do like the True Connect, which is like a match.com where you can literally list that you are a TG artist, and a consumer can get on and say, I'm looking for a TG artist, and it matches you up. So it can match you up to like, I'm an Aveda color specialist and I want a Aveda, boom. So now you can find people in your area, and it's really instantaneously. So it helps with marketing. But I didn't ever think I was smart enough, right? And I actually, the gentleman that I was working with at the time teaching me some marketing tips, Matt Gottesman, if any of you know him, incredible marketer, he told me I would never be able to do it, and that it's probably already been built, and that I would have to get attorneys, and I'd have to get non-disclosure statements, and it's going to cost a ton of money. But every single time you put a roadblock in front of me, I literally said, I am smart enough. I can do this. Women can own technology companies. I may not be anybody in the hair industry now, but you will all know me, right? And so it was like, I just kept changing my story, whether it was going to be true or not. I just envisioned myself there owning a technology company. I made mental notes, and like every single day I would see myself on the cover of magazines. And believe it or not, the first magazine I was ever in last year, I was on the cover. Yep. And I got the call, and guys, I'm not bragging, but there's been no luck in my life. It's believing the stories I've been telling myself. Right. When Chelsea Young called me, the editor from Scottsdale Magazine, and said, hey, we want you to know we're going to feature you in May in our mom edition. And she said, and I'm going to cry. She's like, not only are we going to feature you, your cover. And I was like, no way.
Cry it out, girl, cry it out.
I'm cover. I was like, I just broke down because
I know. Girl, like, just so you know, Teresa, whenever you're with me, you're going to cry.
I worked my ass off. I was nobody. I was just a hairstylist. And then I'm on the cover, right? And so I called my entire tech team and I said, guys, you're never going to believe this. And one of the gentlemen said, do you know how many people wait their whole lifetime is their dream to be on the cover? And the first magazine you're in, you're on the cover. Guys, that wasn't paid press. That wasn't paid PR. That was earned. Yeah, right? I'm changing my story.
This is the thing, Teresa. This is the thing. You had a vision. You had something you wanted to do, right? And what happens is when you start taking steps forward in that direction, and you have to do it with faith, and you have to do it with determination and hope that it's going to happen. And then what happens is your dream gets bigger, and it starts going down all these different avenues that you're like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. If it feels good, you keep doing it, right? If it feels bad and people are telling you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, those are the people you don't want to be with. Those are not your people. Go towards the people that are pulling you towards your dream, right? Not the people that are pushing you down and telling you can't do it, because you can. And that's the thing. Like, when I had my vision of creating a class to help hairdressers make more money behind the chair, and not the technical part of it, because I already do that for the company I work for with TG. I think the cut and color message is great with them. So that's not what I was trying to teach. I was trying to teach how to literally live with intention behind your chair and be intentional in every single thing you do. And from that one class, it turned into a company, into another class, into another class. Now it's turned into a woman's retreat. It's turned into a Tammy Connects podcast. It's turned into Fear into Hope. It's turned into Maximize the Moment. It is literally turning into so much more, that if I would have gone and kept saying, what are people going to think about you? What are you doing? You're going to get fired. No one's going to listen to you. If you just keep going down that, you're never going to get there. So you have to quiet the defeating voice. You have to set your mind and realize it's just a thought. And if you let the thought pass through you, it will leave, and you can replace it with a new story, with a new thought. And that was your and I's common denominators. You said, I changed my story. Mine is, I changed my thought life. Right? It's the same thing.
Totally. Yeah. And
you have to have awareness that that is there, and that is literally what is holding you back, is the defeating voice. And you're the one who created it. You created that shit in your head, and it came from your past, or from someone that said you weren't good enough, or someone's opinion of you, or from an ex-boyfriend, or an alcoholic father, or a second grade school teacher that told you you don't know what you're doing, or wherever it came from. You got to go back and connect to that, and then heal yourself. Because the whole time when that seed was planted, it kept getting watered over and over in your life, and it became bigger and bigger, and you kept listening to it.
Exactly. And I think this is really important to share too, for everyone to know. I wasn't tech savvy. There was no part of that dumb hairstylist that knew anything about computers. I would ask my kids, like, hey guys, can you help me do this? I don't even know how to turn I'm the dumbest person at the computer. I hate the computer. I did paper, like everything. And now, about a year and a half ago, I sat live on a podcast with my daughter, and she told the story about, my mom would annoy the crap out of me all the time, asking me questions about how to do stuff, social media, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, and now I like go and ask my mom. So it makes me feel so good, because when you guys make a decision in your life to change something and maybe, do something a little different, it's going to freak people out around you. And they're not.
And they're going to judge you, and you're going to have the naysayers.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, but you're just a hairstylist. How would you ever do that? Like, it puts a lot of risk and fear into relationships. And I can't tell you how many relationships I've lost along the way, but I believed in me, not them. And I've said, I may seem crazy to you, but I'm going to do this, and you can watch me, and you can kiss my ass when I get there, because I'm not going to stop. Right. Yeah. And you have to get rid of all the fear and just do it. If it's and the one thing that I tell people, here's what my mom told me a long time ago, because I wasn't great with doing my own taxes and keeping track of, all the expenses of my salon. And she goes, Teresa, when people own a business, you do what you're good at, and you hire the other people to do the rest. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, so I hired a bookkeeper, found an accountant. I actually traded her hair for accounting services, right? And that worked. So for me, I learned that I don't know how to create technology, but I know how to find people to do it. Yeah. So I'm good at leading and managing and asking. I'm good at asking for help.
Well, the one thing hairdressers are really, really good at is connecting people. We know so many people from every genre of life, from everything, from every skin tone, every sex, every race, every career path. We have connections.
Yes.
To everyone. And we know how to relate to them because we do their hair.
So they have resources out there that we've been helping our clients get connected to resources for them. Like, it's time right now that if you feel that you need to pivot in your career or make a change to bring in more money, you have people around you can ask. All you do is make a phone call, just pick it up and have the confidence to say, how did you do it? Because I know through my journey that all I had to do is call people. I could call Tammy right now and say, Tammy, how did you do what you do? And she would tell me why. Because we don't compete. We want to lift each other up and rise together.
Exactly.
There's no secrets.
There's no secrets. We'll tell you. And this is the thing, like, the lessons you learn on the way is what it's all about. Like, if we would have said to you, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, whenever you started your dream, Teresa, here you go. Here's your True Connect. here's your magazine cover. It wouldn't have meant anything because you didn't work your ass off for it. It wouldn't have had the same value and the same feeling to it as you're working through every struggle along the way. Those lessons, and no matter what it is, coronavirus or building your business, those lessons are truly there to mold you into your greatness and for you to share from those lessons. And if you don't learn those lessons, they will keep getting repeated in your life over and over and over. I mean, how many guys did you date that were no good for you till you found a good one, right? How many times did you hang out with friends that you knew you should have been hanging out with, and you know what I mean? Like, the lessons were there clearly, and we don't pay attention to them. And I think right now, so many of us are learning lessons, or could be learning lessons, in this coronavirus issue if we would pay attention. You know, maybe it's that you didn't have technology set up for your business. Maybe it's you didn't have enough emergency savings fund. Maybe you weren't, keeping connection with your clients through a website or social media account. Maybe, I don't know what your maybe is, but there is something that is hitting you hard right now. And it's just because you didn't learn the lesson in that area, and you can learn it at any time. But we have to move forward and start paying attention. Like, make the list of the things that are coming up that you weren't prepared for, and start getting educated on what that is. What is it that you need to switch?
Yeah, I think we've been everybody. I mean, even for me, I'm every time I level up, I mean, it's scary. Every single time I level up, I have to lose a bunch of stuff before I go to the next level. So I know when things in my career aren't going as I anticipated them to, I'm like, God's preparing me to level up. I have to get through this so that I can appreciate where he's taking me. And right now, I think a lot of the lies that we've been telling ourselves, or the problems we've been turning our back to, they're being exposed, and we're being faced with those things right now. And now's the time where we all have the chance to, humbly say, I may not know how to do this, but I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make a call. I'm going to invest in myself and education. I'm going to do something different right now in my life to rise up and be proud of where I'm going, but it's definitely.
Maybe right now what we need to do, I mean, I know what I've been doing is I've been getting still, and I have been really, meditating and being purposeful with my time, and giving, whenever I'm doing something right now, I am giving it 110%, and then I'm just backing off and going back and looking at my notes and praying and meditating and journaling. And I am literally so much more creative right now than I have been, because this is happening to connect with each of us individually, and it has to be internally. Like, we can share our stories and we can give inspiration right now, and we can give you the way that we did it, but everybody connects to this virus in their own way, and you have to honor that. But I have to say, learn whatever lesson it's teaching you right now. Maybe you do need to start taking action. Maybe you need to slow down and reassess. Maybe you're someone who doesn't speak to a lot of people, and now it's time for you to connect. Or maybe you're talking to way too many people, and it's time for you to go internal. Like, I don't know what it is for each person, but you've got to listen, because it's speaking to us as a community, as a global world universe issue right now. Everybody has their lesson to learn in this.
Exactly. And if you change one area of your life, like I love to refer back to the mastermind programs I've taken, but sometimes, there's different areas of your life. You have your work, and you have your body, and you have your spirituality. And sometimes if your spirituality is off, then it throws off every other area in your life. And sometimes when your business is off, it starts throwing off all the other areas of your life. When your relationships are off, it'll start to throw all off, and your fitness. And so that's why when I talk about business too, I come from the 4 core areas of your business, because if your relationships are suffering, but your work's really good, then you need to fix something, right? And then so it all balance that together. So like Tammy said, just sit really quietly and figure out what area of my life have I been not giving the proper attention to? Because sometimes you're lacking confidence because you're not giving enough attention to your health and fitness.
Yes.
And I know when I don't feel good about myself, and I literally did like 25 burpees before I got on this call. I was like, I need to get out of this chair and I need to like feel better. And it's like, yes, I feel good because I'm giving to all of you guys, but I'm like, I need some energy. So it's like that helped me be, you know, full of energy for you guys and be able to talk and share my story. So figuring out what area of your life that you need to face, and fixing that area right now. Sometimes I know we talk about, you know, get out there and market and get out there, but if you don't feel good about your relationships or your spirituality or your health and fitness, just grinding on the business aspect of it is going to make those other areas worse, right? So focus on that area and of your life that you need to focus on, and then everything else will kind of start to transform. But I honestly, like, Tammy, I love the coronavirus because it is exposing a lot of things in a lot of people's lives and for all of us right now. And, you know, like Tammy said, just sitting quietly and bringing some emotion into that. But yeah, it's draining. And I know we all feel that. And I don't know about you, but last night I didn't sleep so good. My son didn't sleep good. My daughter didn't. I'm like, we're all going to have those restless moments right now. And we're going to feel really drained because we're really high and then we're really scared and then we're really up and then we're really low and then we really, you know, so just being able to, find those quiet times and ask yourself, why am I on this planet? You know, what legacy am I leaving? What things can I take control of in my life? What areas need my attention? I think that's going to be really crucial.
Well, I wanted to share a couple of the things I'm teaching in that Quiet Your Defeating Voices class. I'm actually teaching it this Friday again at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Great, by the way, take it.
Yeah, you joined us yesterday. Yeah. You know, it's just little nuggets from my Living with Intention class. I just, you know, I want to give that to people so that it'll help them because I know it helps. This part of the class really hits home for people. But one of the things I share is, what is your connection to your mind right now? So, you know, what are you listening to right now? Are you listening to people around you that are paranoid? Are you listening to the news that is, you know, making it this big, huge, dramatic event with music in the background and all these pictures of people dying in front of you? Like, you know, what are you paying attention to? Because everything you're feeding your mind right now, that's what you're going to start spitting out. You're going to start spitting out fear. You're going to start spitting out being reactive. You know, you have to pay attention to the people, the music, the visuals that you're looking at and hearing right now, because it's literally programming your mind to react to it. And then listen to your self-talk, like pay attention to it. When that defeating voice comes up, you've got to flip the script and change it into an empowering voice. You know, is the thought inspiring you or inspiring you? If it's not inspiring you, it is not a thought that you need to be thinking. You need to switch whatever it is. Talk to somebody that can motivate you. Listen to something positive. Watch something funny on TV. Make yourself feel good, because you sitting there in fear is not going to be productive for you. And when you do that, when you are in fear, you start reacting to the situation instead of taking action in the situation. You have to be purposeful, and you can only do that from hope. You can only do that from a direction that you create, not from this voice inside of you. And then what are you doing with your time? Because what you feed your mind right now, what you feed your mind, body, and soul is going to set you up for success or going to set you up for failure. So you have to really pay attention to those 4 things. So I'm going to say it again if you want to write it down. What are you listening to? What is your self-talk? What are you doing with your time? And then the 4th thing is, what lessons are you learning? And I keep telling people that, learn the lessons right now. Because if you don't, they're gonna keep getting repeated. I mean, if they said tomorrow you can go back in the salon and start working, and you keep living life the exact same way you were living, this is gonna happen again. We're gonna have another virus that pops up because of whatever caused it in the beginning. We've got to make a global shift, and it starts with each individual person looking at, what is the lesson I learned in this and how can I help?
Yep, I definitely agree with you guys. And also finding a community of like-minded individuals that can help, you know, you guys get up every day and make you feel valued and worthy and educated. That's really important too through this entire process. I say that in every single live that we've been doing, but that is crucial, because you can feel alone right now, and there's people to help you. There's people that are changing their businesses and doing online businesses and doing things to generate revenue and money and, self-help. And there's workout groups. As a matter of fact, went to the dentist this morning because lucky me, my tooth fell off and I had to have my crown glued back on, and only emergency dental work is being done. So I'm very grateful for dentists. Amen. He shared with me that he's never been on Facebook ever. And his trainer has a Facebook group and doing all the training, lessons. And he goes, look, Teresa, I just did my first post ever in a group today, ever. And he's a dentist and he's educated and he's smart. And I'm like, oh, you just made me feel really smart because you're an educated dentist. I'm a dumb hairstylist, but I've been online for a long time. Right. It's so funny because it's those types of things that if we just change our stories, it does change our lives. So I think right now is an opportunity to say, man, this coronavirus has really allowed me to change my story, find solutions to my old problems, and really change the way that I've been doing things in life. And there's hope, there's help, there's groups, there's education, there's knowledge. All you have to do is say, I'm going to do it, and you can do anything.
Exactly. So what are some things that we can leave everybody with? So, I know we wanted to keep this around 30, 35 minutes. In closing, what would you give them to feed their mind? What would you say? Like if it was food that you could give your mind, what would it be for them to do?
Food for your mind is to consume as many podcasts as you can and replace music, because sometimes lyrics in music are depressing and they don't talk about anything positive. So podcast, educate your brain and change your story. And I promise you, it'll start to change your life.
Yeah, I love it. And I agree. I think that, whatever you're reading, it should be something that's moving you in a positive direction. Whatever you're listening to, the same thing. The people that are influencing you right now, make sure that they have your best interests at heart and that they're not just festering on the fear. Like, I think there's a big difference between education and the facts as opposed to the opinions and the drama behind it, right? We got to stay educated. It's important that we do watch the news, but make sure you're going in, getting the information and walking away and not sitting there hour after hour, scrolling through social media, flipping through the channels. It's just the same thing being repeated over and over again. And then, the last thing I would say is connect with like-minded people. Connect with people that you see are moving forward and that are taking actions that you wish you were taking, because that's how we're going to get through this.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Well,
if you can read in the morning or listen to a podcast in the morning, set your day off right with the mental state. Maybe get in a little bit of exercise, but definitely get your mind right before you go out in your day.
Yeah. Like one of the things I learned this morning from connecting with you was the money mantra. I love that.
Yes. Money flows to me frequently and easily.
Well, I'm my money. I've got it on I can't find my calendar, but I've got a calendar and I've make money mantra. So I'm going to do that today. It's on my to-do list now. And it is one of my top priorities.
Put it on your laptop. Every time you open that baby up, it's right there as your screen.
I mean, why not? If it works, I'm all about it.
It works. It works. Definitely. Well, hey, it was great talking with you guys. If you want to catch up with me and ask me any type of questions, I've definitely opened up my calendar Mondays and Wednesday afternoons, 1 to 4 Phoenix time, Pacific Standard Time. I'll put my Calendly link into the Facebook group, Maximize the Moment, and also my personal Facebook group, which is Hairstylists and Beauty Pro Marketing Society. I also have a website, teresaLyoung.com, and you guys can check out the upcoming course that I'm launching. I have a couple really great guides and freebies in there you guys can download. And yeah, just reach out. I'm available to talk, and whether it's anything to do with family, budgeting, marketing, maybe finding your niche, or we can kind of analyze where your situation is and decide what maybe you should focus on. I'm here for you guys.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate it. And thanks to everybody for watching. We're going to be on again Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. Phoenix time for Maximize the Moment. It's me and Teresa and 3 other coaches from the beauty industry. And we were trying to hit some important topics that we know from hairdressers are struggling with. So this morning we talked about finances. So you can go to Maximize the Moment Facebook group. It's open to the public, and you can rewatch that. And I'm getting ready to upload it on my page too. And it was all about finances. And we just kind of came together collectively and shared what we've done in the past to keep our finances solid and what you can do right now in this time of crisis to help you move forward with your finances. But as always check with your financial advisor before you make any moves. Again, we're just giving you our opinion of what worked for us. So
we are just hairstylists.
Yeah, we're just hairstylists. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day, and God bless you. Please stay safe and healthy, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.